Hi guys, this is Demon Rants, and today I'm so sorry that the last video was like over 2 weeks ago. I'm really sorry about that. To be honest, this is probably like one of the worst years for my videos. Honestly, it wasn't as good as 2015, 2016 for my videos. But, I'm still trying to make them and everything like that. And you may not like this video, but the next one should be interesting. It is actually going to be a rant video. The last one was in like goddamn February, but yeah. But this video is going to be about films and stuff because I've always wanted to talk about them. But before I get to it, I'll just mention a few things. This is my hair now. It's a bit spikier. I've been putting some gel type stuff in. I was going to do a vlog video about my hair, but I thought there's no point. And pretty much because of weeks of procrastination, I never did any videos. But here we are, because I've got the perfect video idea that I wanted to make. Also, brand new shirt, so this might maybe a shirt that reoccurs in the videos. I really like it, but yeah. And before I talk about the films and stuff, some of you might have complained about my editing. It makes sense. It's good criticism. Thanks for the good criticism and all that and stuff. Sorry about the editing issues and everything. If you're wondering on my computer and stuff, I'm having problems with my editing software. It's not very good. I want to get Adobe Premiere, but I don't think it's free. If anybody can let me know if there's any way I can, download it for free, that'd be really good, thanks. But anyways, so today, it's not going to be a very controversial video. The next video might be a rant, because I'm going to do a rant on, alpha and beta males, the labels and stuff like that people are given. I'm going to do a rant about that, but today, if you still want to see that video, just comment below. So yeah, but anyways, today we're going to do a video on, it's very interesting. This isn't an original idea of mine. I based it off of a few videos that were a few years ago, but nobody's done it so far this year, so I'm going to do it. But yeah, this is my favourite films of every single year since I was born. So yeah, this isn't like a top 20 favourite films list. These are simply the best films of each year. If anybody really cares about the years films came out, you'd be interested in this. If you're kind of like a film buff and a history buff at the same time, you may like this video. But yeah, so anyways, this is pretty much going to be my favourite movies since 2001, 16 years old, so yeah. Now, there is loads of 90s films that I love and 80s films, so I do kind of feel a bit bummed out, I was born in the wrong time and stuff. But these are simply just films since 2001. And if you want my opinion on my favourite films of 2000, they would be Gladiator, Chicken Run and Snatch. So yeah, that was a great year for films. But we're going to go in depth with 2001, the year I was born. So yeah, the very first film I'm going to talk about is Black Hawk Down. Now, I have to mention something as well to do with the editing. I was actually going to have the pictures of the posters come up on the side, but my editing's really not very good, so I'm just going to discuss the films. But anyways, so 2001, Black Hawk Down. So yeah, this film came out at the end of 2001. Obviously, it's a war movie directed by Ridley Scott. His last film was Gladiator, but Black Hawk Down was a really great follow-up to that movie. I don't think it was as popular, but, it's still pretty big, Black Hawk Down. But I thought it was the best movie of the year. I know stuff like Shrek came out, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, kind of family films. But Black Hawk Down was a really kind of, I wouldn't say gritty, but it is, a genuine, war film. It's based on the troops that went to Somalia, I haven't watched the film in a while, but, they're in the helicopters and everything like that, Black Hawk Down. But, yeah, it's very heart-wrenching at points, Black Hawk Down. It's got great action scenes in it. This movie will kind of make you tear up a little bit. So, yeah, check it out. It's a great film. Ridley Scott, amazing director and great film for the year I was born. But, yeah, 2002, we're going to go next year. Minority Report, starring Tom Cruise. My favourite Tom Cruise movie. The plot's really good. About the whole police trying to get the criminals. Obviously, he's been what do they say? He's been accused of a crime he didn't commit and stuff like that. The special effects are still really good. They're not like films like Star Wars Attack of the Clones, which have aged horribly. Minority Report still has a very kind of futuristic feel. It's a great environment, a great atmosphere. I love it. And yeah, Tom Cruise is just great in that movie. But yeah, check it out. 2003. I know I'm going to get hate for this because way better films came out this year. But The Matrix Reloaded. Now, everybody says, oh, it's like one of the worst movie sequels ever, And obviously, it's not nearly as good as the first Matrix film, 1999's Matrix. But still, I thought it was a pretty fun movie. It probably could have been way better, but it probably could have been way worse. But Matrix Reloaded, it's still a very fun movie. I believe, 2003 was the year of the Matrix. A lot of Matrixy stuff came out. Don't mind me just checking let's just move the camera a little bit. There we go. But yeah, the 2003 was like the year of the Matrix because that Enter the Matrix game came out. Both of the Matrix sequels came out. A couple stuff like that. The Animatrix. But yeah, Reloaded was my favourite because I thought it was a very fun movie. It's good, it's got confusing stuff in it, but really I think it's fairly solid. But Revolutions was a freaking mess. 2004, Spider-Man 2. Obviously the first Spider-Man movie came out 2002, but Spider-Man 2 came out 2 years later. And it was a perfect sequel. Unlike Reloaded, which is kind of a guilty pleasure, but I like it because it's fun, Spider-Man 2 was a great sequel. It was like the first one, but way better. It was way more serious, and everything like that. The villain was much better than the Green Goblin, Doc Ock. I forgot the actor who played him, but Doc Ock was great in this movie. The mechanical arms and stuff like that. It really did feel, like there was some tension in this movie. And Tobey Maguire's, in my opinion, best Spider-Man. But anyways, 2005, Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Another controversial film that people will probably say, why the hell would you pick that? Now I do think Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy was a good film that came out that year. But I'm going to pick Episode 3 because it was the standout film of 2005. It was the end of the Star Wars prequels, the best of the trilogy. Episode 1 and 2 might have sucked, but Episode 3, it has problems, obviously, problems with some writing, continuity, but I don't know, it's just a solid film. I still think it's a solid movie. It's very dark, it's very sad at points. It's the only Star Wars film to make me cry. Now, that's saying something. So Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, just love it, and still got quite good special effects in it. 2006, now there was a few movies like Cars came out and Pirates of the Caribbean 2, action type movies, action, adventure, comedy, but my favourite film was a comedy film, probably the opposite of an art film. It's not bloody Pan's Labyrinth. My favourite film of 2006, Tenacious D, The Pick of Destiny. Now, people who don't know who Tenacious D won't care what it is, but Tenacious D, obviously it's Jack Black and Kyle Gass. Tenacious D had been around for about 10 years by the time this film came out, and they released it, and it was a really freaking funny movie. It had some like weird parts in it, some bits where they're on mushrooms and stuff, the Sasquatch, and obviously there's the whole story of the Pick of Destiny. Satan's in this movie. Well, played by Dave Grohl. Satan is freaking amazing in this movie. Don't take that the wrong way. But yeah, Jack Black's hilarious. Kyle Gass is kind of the straight man. But yeah, really, I thought it was an excellent way they could have done a Tenacious D movie, in my opinion. But it was a box office bomb, so a little bit disappointing in that kind of aspect. Next year, 2007, this is kind of when my childhood peaked. And that movie was The Simpsons movie. Sorry guys, voice crack. God, I'm kind of doing this a little bit late, so my voice is kind of hurting a bit. But yeah, The Simpsons movie, already did a review on it. Big childhood film of mine. Obviously at the time I was a big Simpsons fan as a kid. And then The Simpsons movie came out and I just really enjoyed it. Now, a lot of people said it was disappointing. It has all the problems of the modern episodes and all this stuff. But I honestly thought it was solid. And if you want to hear more on my views, just watch my review. But yeah, That was the best film of 2007, I think, The Simpsons movie. But yeah. 2008, obviously, The Dark Knight. What else could I have picked? Wall-E, maybe? I don't know. But yeah, The Dark Knight, you know, Christopher Nolan had already done Batman Begins, which was promising, but The Dark Knight was another excellent sequel, like Spider-Man 2. You know, it was darker, it brought Batman, you know, back to being serious after shit like Batman and Robin. It brought him back to it brought Batman back to the limelight, let's just say that. You know, the Joker, you know, Heath Ledger, may he rest in peace, he was excellent, you know. You want to know how I got these scars? Do I really need to talk about the Joker? Everybody freaking talks about the Joker. But yeah, obviously he was the most memorable thing in it. It's got some fantastic set pieces, you know, like the motorcycle chases and stuff like that. But yeah, The Dark Knight, one of my favourite films of all time. One of the best comic book films of all time. 2008, good year. Next year, 2009, not a very strong year for films. You know, there was Inglourious Bastards and, you know, District 9, a few others. But in my opinion, the best movie of that year was Pixar's Up. You know, about Carl, the old man and everything like that. You know, the beginning of this movie is emotional as hell. People have cried at it. You know, it's his life story with his wife wanting to go to South America. That could have been a whole movie on its own. But the rest of the film is still really heartfelt. It's really cute and everything like that. You know, very exciting. Obviously, you know, Russell, the little Asian Boy Scout kind of kid, you know, joins in and everything like that, you know, and they just go on a big adventure, and Carl obviously learns to, you know, be not as grumpy, and then they go in the jungle, and there's all kinds of, and that tropical bird. It was just a great childhood film. Saw it in the cinemas when it came out. It was great. That's one of Pixar's best films. 2010, Pixar again, and that was Toy Story 3. Now, fun fact, one of my first ever videos on this channel, which you can't find anymore because it's been deleted, but I actually did a review on one of the little Toy Story 3 toys. I think it was the cymbal banging monkey. The little monkey that goes like that. That was one of my first ever videos. But yeah, Toy Story 3, saw it in the cinemas. I thought it was a great end to the trilogy. Why would you make a fourth one? The ending was perfect. But yeah, it's very dark. I mean, I don't like all of the film. It's kind of similar to Toy Story 2 in aspects. But honestly, it was probably the best film of 2010. You know, it wasn't that good of a year for films, but Toy Story 3, excellent. And I think it was the highest grossing film. But yeah, 2011, great year. You know, great summer for me and everything like that. And my favourite film, another animated film, Kung Fu Panda 2. Now, Kung Fu Panda 1 was a big contender for 2008's best film for me, but, you know, obviously I picked The Dark Knight, but I thought 2011 was kind of a bit sucky for films, but Kung Fu Panda 2 came out. I saw that one in the cinemas as well, and yeah, it was just a really big improvement over the first one. Obviously, at this point, Po is the Dragon Warrior. Obviously, he's respected for being a Kung Fu legend, but you can still have a laugh. You know, Jack Black obviously doing his schlick like usual. But in this film, you know, we learn about Poe's backstory, you know, about his parents and stuff, and it's pretty damn emotional. The villain, you know, Gary Oldman as that peacock, terrifying villain, but also hilarious. Just, yeah, Kung Fu Panda 2, I love it. It was the best one of the series. Kung Fu Panda 3 was still pretty good, but it has that problem of being the third of the trilogy, being not as good. Still a good movie, but yeah, overall, solid trilogy. Kung Fu Panda 2, bloody amazing. 2012, year when my videos kind of picked up and stuff. I'm going to have to pick Django Unchained. Not a very good year for films. I know the Avengers came out and stuff, but I wasn't a fan of that one. I might watch it again. But my favourite film was Django Unchained by, you know, the legendary director, Quentin Tarantino. I can't believe I forgot his name, but yeah, Quentin Tarantino's, you know, one of his better modern films. But yeah, obviously it's about the slave escaping and obviously kind of becoming like an outlaw and stuff. Really interesting storyline. It's got a lot of Quentin Tarantino's like style, but in the western, in the Wild West. So yeah, you know, it's a very violent film, but it's really good. Probably the best film of that year, 2012. 2013. One of the worst years for films ever. Good year, I had fun that year, but the films were crap. I mean, was I going to pick Frozen or something like that? So, for 2013, I picked G.I. Joe Retaliation. I have to stress, not because it's a good film, but because I remember watching it when I was in year 8. You know, I was about 11 or 12 in year 8. And I remember watching it in the, not in the cinema, but me as a class, you know, school, we went to go watch it and everything on the big screen in the hall and stuff. You know, it was kind of our treat. And I remember watching it with my old friend who I'm not friends with anymore. But yeah, I just have those memories with it. But overall, the plot, I can't remember. Yeah, it had some good action scenes. You know, The Rock was The Rock as usual. You know, Ray Park was Snake Eyes. You know, the guy who plays Darth Maul. But other than that, generic action film, but I have good memories with it. So G.I. Joe Retaliation, I think it was the sequel or something, but who cares. 2014, another Marvel film that I actually like, Guardians of the Galaxy. Saw this one in cinemas as well. You know, it's got a colourful cast of characters and everything like that from a comic book that was pretty obscure, but this film made it big. You know, Guardians of the Galaxy, it was just a fun bloody movie. I need to go watch it again. You know, Groot and Rocket Raccoon, whatever, you know, the main guy who wears the... you know, the main guy who wears the helmet on? You know, I forgot his name, but I need to go watch it again. I probably need to watch Part 2 as well. That came out this year, but yeah. So yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy, one of the best Marvel films that came out. 2015, I could have said Star Wars The Force Awakens, but now that I come to think of it, I don't like that film now, so I have to pick Mad Max Fury Road. It's got really good cinematography and colours. It's got, you know, it still feels like the old Mad Max films, you know, Mel Gibson, but, you know, it's got a modern twist to it with effects, but it's not bombarded with CGI. It's got, very good practical effects, like the cars and stuff like that, you know, it's post-apocalyptic stuff in the desert. It's just really cool. It's just a cool bloody movie. It's better than Jurassic World, so yeah. 2016, last year, we're coming up to this year soon. I was going to pick Hardcore Henry, which was an action film that was filmed in first person. It was really experimental, but not a lot of people saw that film, which was kind of sad, honestly. But I have to pick Zootopia instead, another Disney film. You know, I thought it was better than Big Hero 6 and stuff like that, but much better than bloody Frozen. But Zootopia, another film, anthropomorphic animals, not like a furry or anything like that, you know. No, I'm not a furry. But I just liked it, the characters were all kind of lovable, and it talks about real life issues, the whole segregation stuff, everything like that, discrimination in society, but with these animals. It was a very mature film, and I think, it's going to be remembered for years to come. Now, I don't know if they should make a sequel or not, but so far I was really impressed with it. So yeah, best film of last year. Now this year, drumroll please, 2017, Baby Driver. Now, to be fair, 2017 has probably been a really terrible year for films. Spider-Man Homecoming was okay, but really nothing that good came out. But Baby Driver did surprise me. It's by the director who did all those films like Shaun of the Dead and stuff like that. Hot Fuzz. It's the same guy who did it, but it's an American film instead. But yeah, the main character's really interesting. He's kind of like a disabled guy. He doesn't speak a lot. He always listens to music, Yeah, and, I kind of forgot what happened in the film, but yeah, there's some really great driving, chase scenes. It was all genuine, all great special effects. The characters were interesting and everything like that, and it was just a great film. But overall, in a year of crappy movies that came out so far, I mean, shit like the Emoji Movie, Baby Driver was really surprising. So yeah, and that's pretty much it, guys. So I just gave you 16 years of my favourite films. I hope you enjoyed this video. The next video is going to be like a rant video. It's going to be very controversial. I think a lot of people are going to hate it. But yeah, we're going to see how that turns out. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Now you know what some of my favourite films are. And yeah, so stay tuned for the rant. I hope you like my hair. You can comment if you like my hair or not. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Maybe I can do more movie videos in the future. But anyways, Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.